How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to Paradox TCG. Today we're going to be talking about the new, highly anticipated fan favorite deck, Minervamon Loop. A lot of people liked this deck back whenever it was Lilithloop. It was a big deck, all the way from 1.5 all the way to, I would say, probably around BT7. It fell off a little bit during BT8. Definitely is not alive during BT9 meta. And we're back with a new iteration of the deck with Minervamon in here. Let's go ahead and get started on the deck profile. So we're going to start off with the 4 purple eggs, probably the best purple egg in the game. Minervamon, the one that triggers draw 1, discard 1. There's a lot of deletion in this deck to get those effects off, so he's the best egg to run in this deck. You don't really need 5 eggs, you want to hit him every time, so we only run 4. Next we're going to go ahead and start off with the rookies. This is another, standard rookie in this list. We're going to talk about Gabumon from BT2. He has the effect of trigger to trash 1, so he is just another draw. So you always want to have him on top of Dimimera most of the time to get all the draw effects. So we're running 4 of him. There's no reason you should be running less. He lets you dig through your deck a lot. So we're running 4 Gabumon. Next we're going to be running 2 Sukaimon from BT3. Has on deletion ESS of gain 1 memory. You're going to be deleting your Digimon a lot in this deck, so having an ESS to give you more memory or to draw is always good. That's why we run 2 of these. We don't run more than this because we need more room for other floodgates that we need to run this meta. So we're running 2 of these Tsukaimons from BT3. Next, we're going to have 2 Gazimon. Gazimon is just a floodgate in this purple deck. So I mean, there's not a lot of other floodgates, and Gazi at 2 is pretty decent. It slows down those decks that gain memory. There's not going to be a lot next set. Besides Minervamon Loop, I would say any blue deck, I would assume, because blue naturally has high memory gain, so he can stop a lot of that stuff. So we're running 2 Gazis. Next, we're going to be talking about Psychmon. So Psychmon from BT8, he makes it to where all turns players can't reduce play cost. This guy's going to be another huge card in this meta because there's going to be a lot of cross-heart, a lot of digi-crossing. So, you have decks like cross-heart in by itself, that you heart play a lot of cards and it reduces cost. So this guy stops that from happening, from them being able to play their X4s and X5s to reduce the cost from them. On top of that, you also have all the other cross decks like Dark Knightmon X and Blue Flare. So he'll stop those. So he's really good at 3 in this deck. This next card, I've been kind of playing with it. I was running it at 3 at one point. I think running it at 1 is probably best. This is the Devijormon from BT3. He has the same effect as Tsukaimon on deletion, gain memory. I have mixed feelings about this card. I feel like it's really good, but the reason that I'm only running it at 1 right now is I'm kind of testing it out at 1. It's been doing okay, but it doesn't have the 1 cost to Digivolve, which is kind of important because we want to get up to our level 6 as fast as possible. And this guy kind of stops that by being 1 more memory. So I'm running it as a 1 of right now, but it is a really good card. Essentially, it'll gain you back that memory that you Digivolve him for once you go into your level 5 over it. So we're only running 1 right now. Next, we have Ginkakumon Promote. We use him because of the rush mechanic. You get your, if you have another level 4 on the field, you need 1 to swing for game, and you played him by another effect. Obviously he can't swing, so you just go over your level 4 for 1, and you swing because he has rush. That's pretty much the only reason why he's used in this deck, for the rush effect. So next we have the Eismon package. So we'll go ahead and just bring all of them out. So we're running 4 scatter mode. Pretty standard in a deck like this, you know, helps us draw a lot. This is literally a graceful charity on legs. It's just, this card is so good in purple, it's crazy. Most purple decks will use these scatter mode in their deck with the Gabumons and the Demimeres to get all those draws off so that you can get your combo pieces faster. So, and then you know, we might as well run the Eismon to get the discard effect. And off of Eismon, you can also go into Promote, which is actually really good and wins you a lot of games. So that's the Eismon package, pretty self-explanatory. And our last level 4, I'm missing one of them. I could not find it for the life of me, but I'm running 2 of the 1-cost blocker Devimons. So like I was saying earlier, we want to get to our level 5 as fast as possible, but we need other cards to make it more consistent so we can see our other pieces. So that's why we need the scatter mode, and that's why we run the Devimons. Also, blockers in this next meta that's coming up are really good. So running this guy at 2 is pretty decent. I might boost him up to 3 and take out the other Devigermon. You know, depending on how I feel. That's why I might go that route. But right now, I'm testing out the Devigermon. It's been doing pretty good for me. And these guys at 2, I've been seeing them enough. So, you know, 2 of these guys. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Cerberusmon package. So we got the Cerberusmon package. We got the 4 regular Cerberusmon and the 4 werewolf modes. These guys are crazy. The combo with this deck is just crazy. Once you have your Cerberusmons in werewolf modes in hand and this guy on the field, like, you pretty much, that's the whole combo. You get him out, you pop him, you gain the memory, you get all the draws. You know, if you have Sukaimon or Devigermon under him, you also gain those 2 memories from it. So he really extends your plays also as well because he lets you draw 2, and then, you know, you trash a card. So you're digging through your deck a lot, especially once you start your loop. You just keep going and going and going. It's like it never stops. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. So, you know, we got to use these guys in here. They're required. I think they're all. Some people will try this guy at, oh no, not this one. Some people will try werewolf mode at 3. I just think you need 4 because it's good to have him in hand or in the trash so you can add them back. Next, we're going to talk about Lilithmon. Lilithmon is the other level 6 in this deck that we run besides Minervamon. So, I mean, it's the same thing with Lilithmon. Once you have Lilithmon, if you don't have Minervamon, you go into Lilithmon and you do old loop stuff. But most of the time you want to go into Minervamon. So Lilithmon is literally here just so you can have another boss monster if you can't find your Minervamons. Most of the time you'll be able to because we run Minervamon at 4. So, but Lilith is still great in this deck. You can still do Lilithloop combos in this deck. So she's really good in this deck still, just to add as a secondary boss monster. This next card, I'm going to have to put Minervamon up on the screen for you guys because I currently do not have them. They are not out yet. But we're running for Minervamon. So for the new people, you know, there's a new card. So I'll go ahead and read it to you guys. But she has Retaliation, and during your opponent's turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't activate. So, and then she has the on deletion. If your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play, you may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon or 1 Minervamon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So this card is freaking crazy in this deck. This is the whole reason. She's the whole reason you're able to do this loop. So pretty much, let's go ahead and explain the combo now that we got to Minervamon. So the combo is we only need 1 of these guys in trash. So the combo is you have your Cerberusmon, either you're from promoting or, you know, hard playing, whatever. You have a Cerberusmon on the field. You play your werewolf mode. You pop this guy. You get your draws off. You have to make sure that you have enough memory to at least go into Minervamon, and after that you're good. You go into Minervamon, then you use your option card. We haven't got there yet, but let's go ahead and explain it anyways. Use Revive from the Darkness. Revive from the Darkness, not a lot of people know what it does. It's an older card that wasn't used as much. But the main effect is delete one of your purple Digimon, then you may play a level 5 or lower from your trash without playing its memory. Any on-play effects don't activate. So what you do is, after you swing with your Minervamon, or your werewolf mode, whatever you're doing, if you have enough memory to go into Minervamon and then swing with her, I would suggest you do that. But if not, go ahead and swing with your werewolf mode, then go into her. But the combo is essentially you swing with Minervamon, use Revive from Darkness, you pop Minervamon, you use Minervamon's effect to... Oh no, you use Revive from... You finish the effect of Revive from Darkness to play Cerberusmon from your trash. After you play Cerberusmon, you use Minervamon's effect. If your opponent doesn't... If they have 2 or less, you go ahead and play Werewolf mode. So after you do that, because the cost of playing Werewolf mode is free from Minervamon, you go ahead and pop your Cerberusmon, you get your 2 draws, you trash 1, whatever, and then you gain 9 memory. You just straight up gain 9 memory, so you go from, let's say you're at 0, you go from 4, you go back to 5. That's freaking crazy. That's freaking crazy. And then you just continue doing the combo. You swing with your Werewolf mode, and then you go into another Minervamon, you use another Revive from Darkness, do the same thing, you pop it, you bring back, and that's the whole loop. You bring back another Cerberusmon, and you bring back a Werewolf mode, you pop your Cerberusmon, your Werewolf mode effect goes off, you gain 9 more memory, you swing with him, you just keep doing it as much as you can. It's pretty crazy, and that's pretty much the whole combo with the Minervamon and Cerberusmon. It's a really fun deck. I really like the combo. It's a lot easier to pull off compared to how it was back in the day with just the Lilithmon. Lilithmon was cool, but I think Minervamon is like where it's at, to be honest. So we're running 4 of her because she is part of the main combo. The next card, I'm running 1 Omnimon Zwarts. I was debating whether to run this or not. I've been trying it. I've played it. I've used it maybe like 1 or 2 times in all the playtesting that I've done. It does this old... You want to go over your Lilith with this guy. That's essentially the old combo. If you really need another Minervamon, then you go over Minervamon with this, and you just let it sit there until next turn so you can continue your combo. But as a one-of, I think he's doing alright, but I might take him out later, to be honest. So I'm going to continue testing to see how much better he does, but as of right now, he's doing pretty well for me. The times that I have done it, it's helped me come back and, continue doing my loop plays and adding back those Minervamons when I'm not finding any other ones. So that's pretty much what Omnimon Sport is here for. So one of those. Next, we have Death Xmon. Death X is going to be a really good card against Crossheart, I believe, and Yellow Hybrid if people are playing it. So, I mean, it's Death X. You can essentially play it for free if your opponent has enough tamers, and Crossheart plays a lot of tamers, and so does Yellow Hybrid. Against Blue Flare, they sort of have a good amount of tamers. They're running Sora, Joe, and the Christopher also. But it just depends on how they feel. Just a lot of the times they'll finish you pretty quick. But if they don't and they have a wide board, you just drop Death X, and he's just a really, really good card. So we're running him as a one-of. I might take out the other Omnimon Zwart to add another Death X, but like I said, I'm still testing around with it, and it's done pretty well for me. So running 1 Death X as of right now. Next, we're going to go ahead and get to the options. We're running 1 Back for Revenge. I've been testing this card also. It really lets you extend your plays, especially if you have a Minervamon on the field and use this guy. So use this guy, and it lets you make your Minervamon one of your Digimon gains on deletion. Play this card without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't activate. So it lets you bring back your Minervamon and essentially lets you continue your loop even further. So instead of popping, well, I mean, you'll still pop your Minervamon, you'll do the Cerberus stuff, and you'll still gain on the memory. But if you use this before, if you have enough memory before you do all that, then you'll get your Minervamon back. You'll get another Minervamon on top of your other ones that you already have there. and you'll just have another body to pop with Revive from Darkness to bring back even more Cerberus Mons. So I think it's been doing pretty well in the deck so far. So we're running it as a 1-of right now. I don't want to see it that much because it's more of a late game card. So 1 back from Revenge. Back for Revenge. Next, we have 2 Jack Raids. I want to run more. There's just not enough room in this deck. There's a lot of stuff you have to run in this deck, and Jack Raid is not really one of them, but it's really good, and we need to run it at 2. It's essentially a Hammer Spark Insecurity, and you discard a lot in this deck, so most of the time when you are going to use it, you're going to gain at least 2 memory, and that helps you extend your plays. So Jack Raid is always good to have in this deck. And then we're going back to Revive from the Darkness, one of the main combo pieces of this deck. It lets you get your whole loop off, and it's just a really good card. Lets you delete one of your purple Digimon, then you may play 1 level 5 or lower purple Digimon cards from your trash. So this is a card that lets you play your Cerberusmon, and then deleting Minervamon lets you play your Werewolf mode to get the Werewolf mode effect. So this is a really good card. We need to run it as a 4-of because it's part of the main combo. Next, we're running 1 Call from Darkness and 1 Deathclaw. So I was trying 2 Call from Darkness before, and it was doing, okay. Call from Darkness is a really good, really good card. But there was times when my opponent had 3 Digimon on the field, and I just had no way of getting rid of them. So, at that time I was like, man, I had 2 Call from Darkness in the hand. What if one of them was Deathclaw instead? So I've been using the Deathclaw ever since, and it's actually been helping a lot because Minervamon reads if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play, you may play a purple level 5 or lower. So you need them to have 2 or less. If they have 3 or more, you can't really do anything. You can't do your combo. So I think Deathclaw is really good to get rid of those smaller rookies, or if they have like a Gazimon on the field or something. There's not a lot of decks running memory blockers right now, but against the mirror, this card will be really good. So we definitely have to run Deathclaw. And Call from Darkness lets you extend your combos as well. If you need a Minervamon, you can go ahead and use Call from Darkness and get it back to your hand. So 1 Call from Darkness and 1 Deathclaw. Next, we're running 2 Purple Memory Boosts. Purple Memory Boost helps us get our pieces. So we're running 2, and it helps you late game also as well once you're starting to do your Minervamon combo and to bring all your Cerberusmons out and stuff. Sometimes you just need that extra memory, and that's where these guys come into play. They're super good. So we're running 2 of them. And it helps you search your other combo pieces that you're missing. We are running 4 Tamers, 1 Matt, and 2 Analog Youth. So we'll talk about Matt first. Matt is a really good card as well to use in this deck if you need to get back a Revive from Darkness or a Minervamon. So if you're doing your combo, you're gaining all that memory, and you get stuck at a point to where you're missing a piece and you have Matt in hand, you go ahead and use some of that memory to get back your Revive from Darkness or your Minervamon to continue your loops. So that's why Matt is a really good card, and on top of that, he's a memory tamer, so that's always a plus. And then Analog Youth, he's always been really good in purple because you're always popping your level 5s. So he just gives you free pluses. So when you delete one of your level 5s, if you have 2 of these guys on the field, you're automatically gaining 2 memory from that. And then if you have Sukai and Devijormon under that, you're gaining 4 for popping your own Digimon. So let's say you're using Revive from Darkness, you're essentially paying it for 0, which is really good. So Analog Youth. And on top of that, it lets you hatch an egg to Digivolve over and draw another card if you're missing something. So Analog Youth at 2 is doing pretty good. And that's pretty much it for the deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be doing some matches next. I'm probably be promoting this deck, to show it. A lot of people love Loop, so I want to do some gameplay for you guys and show you the stuff that I've been, practicing with some of my friends on. Probably the first one will be on TTS, and then the other ones, once the set actually comes out, I'll be doing more live stuff. But I'll probably be doing TTS the next couple videos, so I can show you guys some matches with the other decks that I'm playing. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.